medawase na mabo mabaso.
Okay.
Nsem-Pii TV mosomo ye mafamu de boa media space no ene nsem a ebinum ante eche na mo de call YouTube ni ade a personally me follow mu pa to de be kura na voices ni bia patete senkofo aka mahwa me hu no beba Nsem-Pii TV na e wo honom Nsem-Pii TV nie
Andra on Good Evening Ghana so Franklin Cudjoe of Imani Africa and Kofi Bentel of the same Imani Africa umubu afuye papa anything. There is an introduction of a new levy be a friend of sports levy. Now sports levy after say NDC try betting tax mu etwa e-levy mu normally D-levy by almost on the sports levy bar. And so by 1 cedi, every Ghanaian must pay. It is going to be like e-levy now omutwa mu no pepepe. Now no na Franklin Cudjoe say, already nuisance taxes bebree wɔ hɔ a Ghana for enim de nti amoje. And it is NDC penny pa there. Omuntwa and now replace those nuisance taxes ne baako with sports levy no. Yes sir. Ebe butubutu wɔ Ghana ha papa. And now Kofi Bentel also say, politicians never learn. Another nuisance taxa. NPP ba omo nso ometwa mu na sports levy a NDC dey ba no. Na NDC for ya fa Ghana for say yenimu nyansa. Yenimu de yeye. Because e dey sports levy. Already ska omo spend was sports mu dey na yehu. Na nsem no lawyer Paul e dey mu details aba yanko ne nkotie no.
Will be introducing a sports levy as primary revenue source for sports funds. I like what the way something Cudjoe wrote about. Can you give me something, Franklin Cudjoe? Can you give me Franklin Cudjoe? I like the way Franklin Cudjoe put it. So this is what Franklin Cudjoe said. He said, there are many taxes we already pay that do not make sense. That's Franklin Cudjoe's assertion. He's a policy think tank person, quite experienced at Imani. There are many taxes we already pay that do not make sense. Please look for one of them and replace this sports levy. Otherwise, as he put it, ebeye butubutu. Franklin Cudjoe doesn't want to pay any sports levy. He doesn't want to pay. He won't pay. He says ebeye butubutu. Then Kofi Bentel comes up also from Imani. Hail the next nuisance tax which will be withdrawn by the next government. Politicians never learn. Oh, that's interesting. Kofi Tonto says, if we pay a particular tax that does not make sense, you repeal it. You don't replace it with another nonsensical tax. It will be butu in this country. Kofi Adams and President John Dramani Mahama have dreamed up an agenda to raise revenue to support sports. Ordinarily, that should be a noble idea. Why is it receiving bashing from even the civil society that are quite friendly to President Mahama? It's because they identify it as a nuisance tax. They think that it's a nuisance tax. And, Adu Anaba Kwaku Amponsan says, betting tax out, sports levy in. Resetting agenda is on course. He's being sarcastic. Jasper Delali says, take it from the millions we spend on Black Stars. Let GFA make our domestic league more attractive to generate more revenue. Nobody, no civil society person wants to pay any sports levy. But we are tired in Ghana, aren't we? What is you come? Betting tax. NDC won elections on betting tax. They say they don't want to, nobody wants to pay betting tax. Betting tax is not taxed from everyone. It's taxed by those who win the bets. So you go and bet Manchester United to beat Liverpool next weekend, which is my hope. I don't know whether it will happen. I sincerely hope it does. But they are playing at Anfield, so that's a big ask. We don't know how it's going to be. We are hoping that Ruben Amorim and who's the latest player in United who is good? Ahmad Diallo is a Senegalese or Ivorian boy. Very, very good player. He plays on the right. Mbuema plays for Cameroon. And he's also doing very well for Manchester United these days. But it's going to be a big ask because Liverpool are coming from 3 games defeated. They are playing at Anfield. Anfield atmosphere is going to be charged. I've been at Anfield before. There's no atmosphere like Anfield. So I don't know. But if you bet on that game and you win, the Honorable Ken Oforiatta was collecting taxes. The NDC rode on the back of this new sans tax, that they don't want it, that they're going to replace it. And some Ghanaians voted for them, especially the taxing people. I remember Shatawale was angry with this betting tax because most of the SM fans, they are betting and they are using it to do this and that. Then no, you say you want tax out of it. So NDC said no. E-levy, NDC said no. NDC takes out e-levy, which is an optional tax, technically optional. And then they bring in D-levy, whose options are limited because it has to do with petroleum, which connects to almost everyone. Now they take out betting tax, and the Honorable Kofi Adams here says that he wants to introduce sports levy so that we use it to take some money and give it to Accra House of Folk and Asante Kotoko and Football Association. The part of the reason why Ghanaians are usually unhappy with taxes is that they do not trust the management of the resources that come out of the taxes. That's really the problem. Many Ghanaians don't trust how this tax money will be managed. They are afraid that the tax money will be used to buy Range Rover, Land Cruiser, house, this is there for politicians. Why Ghanaians don't like taxes? Because when they tax them, their road doesn't change. When they tax them, the street lights are still off. Greater Accra Regional Minister came into office and said that 2 weeks, I'll put all the street lights on. After 3 months, she said, if your child didn't get a placement, go and hire a private teacher. What is wrong with that? Just hire a private teacher for your child. These are the things she was saying. She had forgotten where she's coming from. These are the things she said. She told us that if after vetting, 3 weeks, all the street lights will be on. So the aggregate of the concern is that people do not believe that when the taxes are collected, it will be used for the intended purposes. Politicians must begin to show Ghanaians that this is what your tax has been used for. Nana Akufo-Addo was able to show that your tax has been used for free SHS. People, Ms. Bell, who was against Nana Akufo-Addo and supported John Mahama for good reason, testified in 2017 that she took a child to Achimota School of all places and they didn't ask for any money. She testified. That is one of the few times that Ghanaians have seen the appropriate application of national and state resources. Apart from that, and maybe one or two few instances, Kufuor's national health insurance also looked good at the beginning. Kufuor's public transport reinvigoration, Metro Mass also looked good at the beginning. But apart from this, you can't find any in the whole Fourth Republic where Ghanaians can confidently say that our taxes have been applied to this, our taxes have been applied to that. Anytime they hear the use of money by chance, stealing, chopping, eating, that's the reason. Because if you say you want sports tax, it's not really a bad philosophical idea. But who is going to manage the money? How is the money going to be managed? So Franklin Cudjoe says we won't pay. He says he actually threatens violence. He said, Ebeye Butubutu. Butubutu means violence. Mr. Minister, Franklin Cudjoe says there will be violence. If you like, try and bring some tax that you are calling sports levy. You will see. It's democracy at work. It's democracy at work. Need I say more? I won't say more for now. Let's leave it. And maybe I'll take some messages. I want to take some messages before I come to this, my big nemesis on Friday morning. Uncle Ato, how are you? I salute you. Good day, Uncle Ato. I'd like to take a few messages on what we've been saying so far. Dr. Baomia's birthday, Gov't Dame, and then Akufo-Addo, and the sports tax. Let's see what people are writing on social media. Fatih is here, and she's going to be reading the text to us. Fatih, what are people saying?
All right. Thank you, Paul. So a lot of our viewers are wishing Dr. Baumia a happy birthday.
The Moro Audu, my colleague and friend, indicated to myself and Mr. Nilante van der Poy that Mr. Ato Ahoy wanted to make an intervention into the program. Of course, we're all very excited that, Ato Ahoy still connects to politics. Ato Ahoy, I know him very well. Nilante said, I know him very well. I said, I know him very well. What does he want to say? Moro said, oh, he doesn't know, but he wants our permission to take Ato. We all said, oh, of course, of course, of course. So Ato Ahoy's phone call was put through to the studio. And I was surprised. And then he took me on. He said, I'm saying something terribly wrong. And accused me of all kinds of things. Eventually it was settled. But I'd like you to watch this video, viewers. And then I'll come back and explain the behind the scenes of what happened in this whole episode on Good Morning Ghana. But I like to say greetings to Uncle Ato Ahoy. I'm sure, but he probably is not watching, but he'll be told or he'll see the video. And Uncle Kwamena, the ever brilliant lawyer Kwamena Ahoy, also his photograph is here for a reason. Tonight, we'll say the story, the backstory behind all of these things. This is a short clip of the video. It's about 7 minutes long.
Yes, please go ahead, Uncle.
Moro.
Yes, sir.
I like the way of late you've been presenting Paul Ademoche come and cause confusion in the NDC.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the first thing I'm going to say. I like the way you've been doing that consistently of late. Paul Ademoche is a person who has never found anything correct with the NDC. He is one of the people who always wants to be on the side of Akufo-Addo. I know the relationship between him and Akufo-Addo, and Paul knows that I know the things I'm talking about are correct. This is the Paul Ademoche when NDC was in power, who came to my office and wanted me to get a position for him. But let him do whatever the mischief that he's trying to do. He's on a mischief assignment, and it's not going to help him in any way, shape, or form. And I would like him to concentrate on his MPP things, whilst we also concentrate on our NDC things.
I'm very happy. I'm going to interview.
The NDC is very clear. It says that it will select a running mate, what is not running mate, the other one, a flag bearer, at least within 1 year of the election. So it means we can choose to select our flag bearer sometime in 2028 or 2027. So all these things that are going on, causing confusion between Ashidunke and Julius Debra and everybody. It's just the typical trademark of Paul Ademoche. And I don't think we should give him the chance to I don't think you, Moro, should give him the chance to do what he's doing on the TV. It's not right. And I don't expect you to give a platform to this guy to do what he's doing. We have our party, and we are running our party, and we know when we are going to elect our flag bearer. He can go through all the rigmarole that he wants. But, Moro, you know very well that NDC, we have a way of doing our own thing. Do you remember that when Atamels was selected as running mate by the NDC, as flag bearer by NDC, nobody thought he was going to do it. But we got him in, and he got it. The same thing, when people were fighting about who should be the running mate with Mahama, all sorts of names were mentioned, but the NDC went and brought Nana Jane, and Nana Jane is now the vice president. So I think we should keep quiet and be careful the way we do our things with as far as the NDC is concerned. We have our system of doing things, and that system hasn't failed us, and it will not fail us. So tell Paul Ademoche to keep whatever bad things he wants to do to NDC to himself, because he won't succeed. And some of us who are old members of the party will not allow him to succeed. We are going to make sure that NDC will go through their system and select whoever has to be the flag bearer or the running mate or whatever it is at the appropriate time. The time is not now. Mahama has done only 9 months of the 4 years. And I don't understand why we are going through this thing of trying to select a running mate now or a flag bearer now. It is not yet time. President Mahama has done only 4 months, 9 months, and we have 3.5 more years to go. So people should just keep quiet and let him do his governance. Paul Adumochiri, please keep quiet and shut your mouth and let Mahama serve his term. You never did what you are doing today when Akufo-Addo was in power.
Thank you very much, Uncle Atu, and good morning. I'm very happy to hear Uncle Atu talking. Him and I support the same Manchester United club, and so I'm very happy to hear him. Good morning, Uncle Atu. Thank you very much for intervening.
Good morning, good morning.
No, I don't support Accra, for which he does. Uncle Atu says that he talks about my relationship with Akufo-Addo, which is it's true. I mean, I believe that Akufo-Addo is one of the most impactful politicians of the Fourth Republic. I noticed that when I covered him in the Second Parliament, and I noticed that the way his youth mobilization was when I was a university student. So yes, definitely, I'm an apologist of the Akufo-Addo political philosophy. There's no doubt about that. The other thing is that I do not wish the NDC evil. That's also, perhaps it's a bit too harsh. I mean, I have friends in the NDC. I am generally a political animal, so I like to follow politics a lot. So it is true that when Uncle Atu was at Church Street in those days of Mills, I will go there often with Hariza Kaur. I don't remember asking him to give me a position, but yes, I visited him all the time. I will harass him for this and for that, and that's also true. I used to go to Church Street. Sometimes David Lamte will send me there as well, so that's true. The other thing is the thing we are discussing is not coming out of me. It's coming out of Musa Dankwa's polls. This is really the point that has to be made. It's not me saying that I'm coming here this morning to discuss something that is not born out of it. It's a newspaper review program. So the newspaper agenda is what we are following. Sometimes we can add other things, but those things must have been in the news. So we are talking about St. George this morning because it is in the news. We are talking about the NDC's presidential primaries because Musa Dankwa has been polling about it, and it forms part of the news. Anytime Musa Dankwa picks up a poll, it is a big story on Joy FM and Joy Headline News and all of that. So that is why we are talking about the NDC situation. I was here last week. We probably didn't talk about the NDC situation. We talk about something else. I wanted to discuss if it has been reported that Richard Jakpa and Godfrey Dame petitions to the CID, which I'm very interested in. So I have to plead with Uncle Atu that the things he had me said were based on a discussion of the Musa Dankwa post, to which I gave some flesh to. And I was also concerned that Ben Butubutu, especially one of the respected journalists, as I said, broadcasters, was concerned about the way Musa Dankwa was doing the post too early. And Musa Dankwa stood his ground and said that he's a poster. He pulls up posts every 3 months, and then so he will continue to do it, and that they do it everywhere in the world. This is what has got me talking about the NDC flag bearership.
What we here at Metro TV can assure you of is that when we invite people for programs, we don't invite them because we have some ulterior motive. I mean, first of all, Paul is a member of this company. He's a staff of this company. He has a program called Good Evening Ghana. And so as a staff of this company, he's entitled. In fact, he has a right to appear on any platform if the platform deems it fit to invite him, to come and express his opinion. Basically, his opinion is expressing. And there's always somebody from the other side who would counter or disagree with him if what he's saying is not factual. So it is not like we're doing a one-on-one with him, where he comes and says things and perhaps the host is not asking, proper, relevant, critical follow-up questions. That is not the case at all. And it is also not my call. I don't personally decide who comes on the show. There's a production team that works with the head of the programs department who decide